boys and girls. Today we're doing a lesson on the coordinate plane. This is lesson 14-1. I want to make sure you understand more about the coordinate plane. First of all, whenever you're drawing a plane, this is the x-axis. It's the horizontal line that goes from left to right. We call it the x-axis. So anytime you're talking about a point moving left and right, you refer to the x-axis. Anytime you're referring to top and bottom, we call that the y-axis. Okay, so today we're only starting with this top quadrant up here. So I'm going to shade this in and then I'm going to erase it. But all this area up here is the very first quadrant, quadrant 1 that we're going to be talking about. So if I wanted to move on the x-axis, if we want to start at the origin, and I wanted to move to point 2, 1, you would move 2 over and 1 up. So there's where your point would be. That would be point 2, 1. If I wanted to find point 3, 2, it would be starting at the origin again. You'd be going right, 1, 2, 3, and up 2, 1, 2. So that's 3, 2. The biggest mistake that kids make is that they often do the vertical y-axis first. So sometimes, I'll mark this in red so we know it's wrong, but kids would do 2.21 and they would say 1, 2, and 1 over, and they would mark it here. But that is not the right answer because that would be point 2 or 1, 2. Just so you know, if we were to plot a point somewhere over here, we won't be doing them today, but that's actually starting at the origin and that's going 1, 2, 3 points backwards. So when you write that one, it would be -3. And then that's 2 points up, that's still positive, so it'd be -3, 2. Another one to know is if you're going like to a point down here maybe, in this quadrant, you'd start at origin and you'd go 1, 2, 3 back, so that's -3, and 1, 2, 3 down. So that's -3 on the x and -3 on the y. Whoops. So numbers in this top quadrant here, this one, are always a positive number and a positive number. If we were moving up to here, it would be a -x and a positive y. If we were moving anywhere down here, it would be a -x and a -y. And if we were moving down here, you'd have to be doing a positive x and a -y. But we don't have to worry about all of those right now. The main thing I need you to remember is the positive coordinate points. So here are just a few more examples, but I'm going to only stay in the top quadrant for this. So here's my origin point. We don't have to worry about -x or -y at all. So if I was going to plot a point right here, you'd have to figure out the coordinate points for that. It would be 1, 2, 3, 4 over, and 1, 2, 3 up. So 4 on the x, 3 on the y. 4, 3 is how you write it. Make sure you have parentheses. Okay, if I were to plot a point up here, you would start at origin, go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 over, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 up. So 6x and 6y. That would be 0.66. So here's one more question for you. We'll call this point B. What is the coordinate points for point B? What are the coordinate points? 2, 5. Because it's 2 over and then 5 up. Okay, and one more thing I want to mention is that I don't have a new secret code for you this week. Last week there were only a few of you who listened to the videos the whole way through and got the code. I will give it away today. To get into the Flipgrid, you would need the number 1374. Okay, so if you go into Flipgrid, you would write Brunazzi and then 1374. The only kids that got in, I know Reed had a little bit of problems with logging in, but Liam and Jack both said something about learning another language. also helping their family. Grayson also said about helping his family. Amber made pierogies last week, and Ashley did some gymnastics. I think round off back tuck. I forget what else she said about gymnastics. So go ahead and log into there and add something to that grid. It's about things that you're proud of. And then next week we'll start a new one, and I'll put new codes into the videos for you.